it's such an interesting premise because your daughter in the film has this near fatal accident, but she survives. But even more frighteningly, she comes back just changed and different. And that's I love that the frightening nature of this premise comes from a real human dynamic of fearing that, this person won't be the same as they were. What did you like most about that setup?
Well, I thank you first of all for seeing all that, because those were all the things that I really loved about the movie too. And um I have my son is now 13. And you hear all about teenagers, but to me, as I was making the movie, I kept thinking, oh, this is kind of what it's like when your child changes so dramatically that you don't recognize them anymore. But it's like the horror story version, which of course this wasn't, because this is an exploration in so many other elements as well of that, including life after death and also guilt and mother guilt and all of those. There are a lot of different themes running through this movie, but I do think that there's something interesting about the idea that as parents, to see your child turn into something else or someone else, how terrifying is that? What does that feel like? And to really kind of explore that, no matter what the causes of that are, or if it's just the natural process of growing up, any of those, whatever the cause is, it was fun to explore the sort of feelings of that as a parent.
Yeah, and I love that you brought up the parental guilt because that's definitely one of the big themes of this film, and it's something very relatable, even if not to the extent your character deals with it. Everybody feels like they could have done, better in situations, and focus on any negative points. Um, and this has some really heavy scenes, especially in the back half. So, as an actress, how was it just really, grappling with all this movie's themes because it gets very heavy. There's some I don't want to get into spoilers, but there's some really wild scenes. So how is it like? Because I could see that kind of just like weighing on you as an actress. How is that experience?
It was a lot, I will say, because also there was a lot of work in water. And again, we don't want to give away too many spoilers, but um, you know, it was something very interesting about um literally going into another world, which is representing her darkest guilt and her darkest moments and her darkest pain, and also having that be underwater. And as an actor, that I had a lot of fear around that, and so it was interesting, kind of exploring, like doing all that through my own fears, as well as really letting the fears of the character come to life. And I have to say too, the way that the whole thing was envisioned, I really give a lot of credit to our director, Bob Salerno, because he really, even when I read the script over so many times, and I was kind of like, I don't know, what is this going to look like? How are we doing this? I was like, and he really was able to establish and to create that vision um, of those ending scenes, which were harrowing at times to shoot, but ultimately so important. And it was important to have the feeling state of what those scenes created in the sort of climax of the movie.
And I gotta say, you're always great in either film or TV. But one element that impressed me here was you're Italian. There's a lot of dialogue. And granted, I'm not the right person to compliment that. I have no knowledge of Italian, but it sounded great. So how was it performing those non-English exchanges? Because that had to be an interesting challenge.
God, thank you for saying that. I was also terrified. Like, because I'm like you, like I love Italian, and I've always sort of like, oh, I have such a great Italian accent. You know what I mean? Like I could do because I have a good ear, but I cannot speak a word of Italian. And I had to learn those lines, and it was hard. It was challenging to learn the lines because I'm like, I have to know what I'm saying and all this stuff. Anyway, so I spent a lot of time with that. So thank you for acknowledging it.
Yeah, and another element, I'm always impressed by you, but I was just shocked how great the actress that plays your daughter is, Freya, and she's such a young talent. I looked her up. She's like writing and directing her own short films. She seems to be just a steamboat. How is it working with her?
She's amazing. Honestly, gosh, I just feel so lucky that I got to work with her because that was a really challenging role that she had to play. She is just so intelligent and kind and gentle, and like she really just allowed herself to just turn into this character. And it was wonderful to watch. And she was a great partner in doing this and made it so easy for me to feel maternal toward her. You know, she just really she's excellent. And I think she's gonna be she already is a huge talent, but I think she's gonna like be doing great things for sure.
Yeah, she has such a bright future, and Hereafter is coming out the same day as Winter. How special is it that you have these two movies coming out on the same day? That's such a unique and special experience for you.
I know. Thank you for saying that because I don't think I've ever had that happen in my entire life. Um, and two such different films, and you know, both I feel have, you know, I hope will be really meaningful to audiences. Um, different, both different, very different tonally. But it's a very cool thing because I really do try to do projects that certainly that mean something to me. And so therefore when they come out, I really hope that they're going to mean something to audiences. So that's going to be an exciting day. September 13th, they both come out.